Did you know that people love to read books? Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire totaled 350,000 buyers on Amazon.com 1 minute before sales opened. I have studied books and I have listened to audiobooks, and I have noticed that my retention for the materials increased if I read and then mark things that apply to me instead of just listening. As I have studied at my university, I have noticed that my grades are better as I read books versus listen to audiobooks. My topic today is about reading comparing to listening, and how reading is more effective in retention and gaining knowledge than simply listening to an audiobook. Marking books helps us gain retention and increase knowledge. Let's begin with the audiobook. Now, there are some benefits to audiobooks. Audiobooks can be listened to on the go. You can have them on any portable device, computer, laptop, iPad, or cell phone. Some people are better listeners. Some people do actually retain more information by simply listening to what's said. Things can be repeated over and over again in their minds and in their earbuds so that they're able to listen and understand. You can always change the reference, the voice of the reader also. You can have a male or female. Sometimes they offer you a European accent, and that's a benefit too to some people, I guess. But why should someone use a normal text over audiobook? Well, you can easily read and reread. Sometimes when you have to go back and re-listen, it's harder, it takes longer because it doesn't have that option very many times, and you have to drag the little scroll bar back to where you want it to go, and you don't know exactly where you want to go. But a book you can simply reread the sentence. A book can be marked, and that is essential in learning. When you mark something, you reread it. You mark it in your mind. Books can be stored and read by others. It's like a journal. According to Textbooks for Learning, Nurturing Children's Minds, textbooks are like journals. Once you mark them, it can be given to other people for them to read and for them to learn, and your marks can benefit them. How many times have you gone to a doctor and they referred to an audiobook they heard about your case? No, they've read books. They have books that they reread and restudy as they learn about your case and learn about how you're supposed to do it. Audiobooks are the way to go. Normal books, textbooks, are the way to go when it comes to learning and retention. Now, I want to discuss one extremely important aspect of reading, and that is marking a book. Marking a book helps you keep your thoughts on the page. How many times have you read your scriptures and you mark something you like? That thing now is kept in your mind. You can remember it much easier. You can refer back to it much easier because it's marked. It helps you remember important ideas. When you're reading textbooks, sometimes it's full of fluff and things you don't really need. But if you mark the important things, you can reread the textbook, only reading the highlighted sections that are, so important to you and your class or whatever it is applying to you. Marking your page will also help you retain the information because you review it as you mark it. According to Performance Comparison in 2 Textbook Marking Methods by H.S. Lowe, in a journal on selected areas of communication, he stated that as you mark a textbook, you repass it in your mind. You reread it as you go. And that helps you retain that information. Marking a textbook is so important. You can't mark an audiobook. Audiobooks can only be listened to, and that's it. Reading a textbook can be reread by other people, can be marked by you. You can put your notes in the margins. It is so much better than listening to an audiobook. You can put your book on the shelf and refer to it whenever you want to. Audiobooks can be stored in portable devices, but they're hard to refer back to. It's hard to find the things that you liked about the book. but a textbook is very accessible and very easy to find. As you read and mark your books, your understanding of the material will go up and your knowledge will increase. Benjamin Franklin, when he sat in the making of our Constitution, he sat in a chair, and the chair had a sun just above the sea. And some people asked him, "Is that a rising sun, or is that a setting sun?" And he told them that because he believes that America has a bright future and many things ahead for it, it was a rising sun. That came from the book called The First American: The Life and Times of Benjamin Franklin. I know that we are a rising generation, and that as we read textbooks and mark them, our knowledge will increase of the material. We'll be able to refer back to it, and others will be able to benefit from it.